By the end of January last year, I had already stated my intention to take the magistrate, Judge Fatzinger, as well as the officers in Natalie's case, Alicia Bollinger, her mother, Danica Garner, and Shelley Campbell to court. All as witnesses. Well, not all of them as witnesses, I should say. At that point in time, I still considered Danica and Shelley witnesses. However, I was trying to take the magistrate to court and Alicia Bollinger to court. I needed help getting criminal charges pressed against them and going after them in civil court. That's the problem, is that these people who I had made videos about trying to make reports on, had made phone calls to make reports on, had gone in person to make reports on. In August and September of last year, all of those people got to have court without me. All of them were heavily invested in preventing the truth from coming out. And then they pretend like I'm crazy and it makes it okay. No, I'm overwhelmed. I want my life to be over. Anybody going through this shit would go fucking crazy. My friends and family are at risk. Somebody needs to fucking do something about this. They needed to take a report on the incidents as they were happening. Not a year and a half down the road after they've manipulated and contorted every single thing that they could get their hands on to try to make me look as crazy as possible and keep me in a constant state of perpetual movement, keep me in a constant state of fear, a constant state of defense, while ignoring the crimes against me, making every excuse to break the law to help the Bollingers. If the things that they told me that they can't do for me, they're able to do for the Bollingers, then they're breaking the law, because that's not equal. It's not equal for Miss Peaches to not be allowed to make a report. It's not equal for my public pretenders not to do their jobs. It's not equal if the very people who have a conflict of interest are allowed to have an entire court date without me. You know, that's like a Jew having to go before Adolf Hitler to ask for the Nazis to leave the Jews alone. But Adolf Hitler doesn't want to hear him. Instead, they lock him away in Auschwitz and accuse him of whatever they want and hold court without him, and it's all said and done. Their hands are clean, their hands are wiped, and it's fine. As long as there's not an international tribunal, which just means they have to win the war, and I am dedicated to making sure that the Boulder police do not win this war, and that the Bollingers do not win this war, and the Adams County officers do not win this war. The things they did were abhorrent. At no point in time should I have been harassed, threatened, intimidated, or anything of the like after I left Virginia. I'm not responsible for my actions. I can't be. I'm in a constant state of survival and fucking panic. The things that I do are reactions. They're reactions to long-term abuse and the understanding of what it is that I know that I've lost. What it is that I don't have in my life. What it is that I need in order to be able to defend myself. Instead of be at the mercy of any predator out there who wants to do whatever they want. I'm not tall. I'm 5'9". I don't weigh very much. I got a fucked up back. I got fucked up legs. My head's fucked up. But praise the Lord, right? Jesus will fix this, right? I ain't seen that. See, that's the thing about being able to hold court without me. My creditors being able to do so, being able to prevent me from going to court, sending me to other people who I had been trying to make a report about, and allowing them to threaten me, harass me, intimidate, and insult me. 4 times I was assaulted in Boulder County Jail in 4 days last August. I was trying to make sure I could get to my court date on the 29th. That was the most important thing to me, is that civil court date, because there I could have shown everything the police were doing, everything the Bollingers were doing, everything that Adam Klein was doing, everything. They did everything in their power to make sure that that never happened, that no public pretender ever took a look. They didn't even pretend they were going to. The ones that did, well, Steve got to be there for part of that. Graham got to be there for part of that. They only pretended that they might because people were there. But they wouldn't take a look at it there. I had to reschedule an appointment. And then when I rescheduled the appointment, they wouldn't allow witnesses to go in with me. They wouldn't allow me to press charges against my public pretenders. They wouldn't allow me to fire Pamela Carty. They tortured me into signing pieces of paper that made what they did all right. This is not all right.